dinosaurs have to do with climate change? And why did I post a really vague hint on our Facebook page last week? These questions and more will be answered on this week's installment of Let Me Just Clear Something Up with Objective 350. Before I get into anything too specific, I'd like to address something else. So on Wednesday, I posted a hint about this topic specifically on our Facebook page in the hopes that you might guess the connection between climate change and the Earth's immune system. This hint was JP 1993. So what does it mean? Well, the JP, believe it or not, stands for Jurassic Park, and 1993 was the year it was released. I know that's a vague hint, but it wouldn't have been fun if it wasn't vague. But vagueness aside, what do either of those things have to do with the Earth's immune system? It does two things. First of all, it conjures the image of a dinosaur. Jurassic Park, of course, you would associate it with that. And secondly, it kind of dissuades us from using the word, or the term, immune system. But why would I do that? I mean, I've been using immune system this whole time. Well, I did actually do that for a specific reason. And that reason was because it illustrates really well the idea of a mass extinction. So what is a mass extinction? Well, it's the purging of up to 96% of the Earth's species, and it can happen in one of two ways. In the first way, the process is catalyzed by a meteor impact or an asteroid, and in the second way, it's through natural processes, like climate change. Now, there have been 5 notable mass extinctions in the history of the Earth: the Permian, the Devonian, the Jurassic. You see? The hint does kind of make sense. Now, 2 to 3 of these mass extinctions were theorized to be brought on by these asteroid impacts. The most notable example of this is the Permian mass extinction. This one's a little bit gruesome. About 96% of the world's population was absolutely decimated. But the 4% that survived are the 4% that everything you see now on the Earth came from. I mean, that's a little bit cool. Then, of course, there's the second type of mass extinction, the one in which climate change is the reason for the death of millions of species. The best example of this is the Ordovician period. It took course over millions and millions of years, and it had 2 major dying off points at the very tail end and at the very beginning. It was a huge, unimaginable amount of time. The majority of the Earth's population was congregated in the seas, and when climate change brought on a new ice age, they couldn't deal with the changed chemistry of their oceans. I mean, these creatures were fairly simple. They couldn't think or feel, they didn't understand that they were in the middle of a mass extinction. But we would know, wouldn't we? Well, unfortunately, scientists believe that we might be at the beginning of the first ever man-made mass extinction brought on by our own hunting of certain species and by climate change. We've done to the Earth in 200 years what the Earth does naturally over the course of 20 million or so. The amount of CO2 we've released has totally thrown it out of balance, and while we can't say anything definitive about these mass extinctions because it's supposed to happen over the course of millions of years or in one fiery explosion, we can say that what we're doing to the Earth right now is not good for it. Truthfully, our main goal right now isn't determining whether or not we're in the middle of a mass extinction, but instead just to simply lower our carbon emissions down to a livable standard, which is around 350 ppm. It's by no means easy, but it's what we need to do. And on that note, I'd like to wrap things up. Next week there'll be somebody introducing the Let Me Just Clear Something Up series, someone that is not me. And other than that, just like this video, share it, and discuss the topic. I mean, we want to have a conversation with you. So, hope to see you next week, and goodbye. What do I was about to say dinosaurs. Climate and dinosaurs, I guess.